Alrighty traders, George here, and time for an update on gold. We'll call this the trade of the week from last week. Actually got a couple of choices there, a couple big moves in the S&P that we talked about before they happened. Could easily qualify, but I want to highlight gold here because I'm looking at gold to the upside, which I haven't done much of at all, and it's followed through real well according to the strategy that I've been showing you. So we just hit the second target here at 1282.20. I made mention to watch for 1272.20 to start a little bit of resistance on the way up, and that's pretty much the way price played out. You can't really see it on this daily chart, but we'll go to a different view here in just a moment. I want to highlight a few more things happening here. Gold's now moving up into this very heavily traded zone here, starting at 1282s, going up to about 1223s. And each one of these spikes here I've broken down. These are older price points that are still showing their hand here, and really nothing's changed in terms of the key players in terms of gold price points here. So as gold moves up to this level here, now what was a huge test down here, it's multiplied. It's the same deal. The gold bulls need to get priced through this balance beam in a big way and start trading above 1320s. So that's why I've got the third target here of my three available that I can use on this grid as the top line here. So when we get to something like this, we think about if the current trend continues up, we'll look for the floor to be taken over and then fill to the top. And because this is such a heavy commitment area, we're going to look to see a fade there once we arrive, assuming we do. If we start to pull back here, if you look to the left, there's a bit of an air pocket. So the call last week was to watch for, in the best case scenario, 1225 to hold as support on a pullback. We had moved up to the 1240 level, and that's the call that I made. And you can see here on a more refined chart that 1225, that nailed these support swings right here. That last video was done on the 7th, and well, there's the support swings right there. So on the 7th we went up to hit the 1240 target, pulled back. There's 25s holding as support. So if you're using the DSR model or you're using the balance beam on a smaller time frame, easily following any of the key signals there, trader trend, the DSRs, black tip, you name it, fib candles going white, hard not to be long as we start to resume back up. And there's the follow through up into the 1280s. There's the support swing I called in advance, and there's price resonating at that level. That was the healthiest scenario, right? The next step would be to watch for 16s to hold. The bulls did what they needed to do by keeping that support swing higher than lower. So that's a good sign for gold. Now everything, as I mentioned, is magnified in terms of the gold bulls proving out this move as being more than just a little bit of a bounce. There's a couple other things that are coming into the mix here. This relatively steep downtrend here that was broken, well, we're still subservient to some downtrends here in gold. One of them would be this more macro downtrend, and price arriving at about target 3 on about the same incline that it's making right now would time well with that downtrend. So that's another nod to watch for this 1320 zone to provide a key resistance swing. The other is there's a somewhat of a second stage downtrend here, and that is this guy here. And just going to the highs that we've just made, pretty much right in line with the high here, we could obviously see a pullback right now. We're at the floor of a key balance beam. This would be a great spot for gold to pull back. So if gold does pull back, this is the 1250 top line, and this is the 1240 spike here. This is the worst case scenario that I would look at for a pullback for gold. If it starts to sell off here, as I mentioned down here, the best case would be for it not to pull back much and just have the bulls come right back in and steamroll this thing over the floor here. If they do get more of a sustained sell-off, anything below 1240 would be extremely bearish. It would be completely undoing all of this work to basically reclaim this level here, and that would really scuttle this in a big way. So in a best case deep pullback, you'd look for about 1250 to hold, really 1254 here to hold as support, just to note that right there. And there's actually some opportunities for the bulls to pull back just a little bit and find support at a higher level. The last support swing we have here comes in at about 1257s. Really 1270 and 1257s would be precursors to 1254. So whether you're getting out of this altogether here because we're at the floor or you're pushing stops up, or you've taken a little bit off the table and you have a third of your position left. However you slice it here, you don't want to see gold dropping below this spike here. And on a pullback, the smaller the pullback, the better for the bulls. If we start trading over 1287s, 1287s takes us over the ceiling right here, and that would be the next sign of strength coming into gold, would be having it clear 1287, which is the ceiling of this spike here. And then again, getting over 1223s would be the follow through to all of this effort here. If the bulls start trading over this 1320 zone here, then they really can sort of reestablish themselves here at a different support level, and then go ahead and see if they can attack 1400 round number. So that's really the play at hand, and it's, you know, can the bears come in and undo this thing sooner than later? Any breaks below these key areas, once they're traversed, because gold is in such a nasty downtrend, they have to be watched very closely. The out of the money calls I've been talking about for the GLD, the NUGT ETF, the GDX ETF, all doing really well. Haven't really been talking about miners specifically, but obviously those last two ETFs account for that. And of course, position trading gold futures here. Lots of great ways to play this gold market here, and some real classic predictive analysis here, stuff that I've been doing for a long time, just continuing to show its resonance here with price. It's done it on the way up, it's done it on the way down, it's doing it again here on the way up. So completely trumps all the fundamentals, and it's literally about pure price and if then creating all of these strategies here. Just wanted to give you the follow through. The trade of the week is the continuation of gold long here, hitting target 2, 1282s. Some real nice gain there in a very short period of time, and all 100% chart driven there. All right, gang, that'll do it for now. Use the link at the bottom of this video to get into the live room. You can see me trade gold live, as well as oil, the equity futures, and talk about stocks and options as well. That'll do it for now. We'll see you back in the live room.